Eccoci in Cina alla XAG. Adesso stiamo entrando per questa grande esperienza alla XAG e siamo proprio all'ingresso. La presentazione e hanno attaccato al muro tutti i pezzi. Ogni singolo pezzo è identificato con un codice matrix che quindi si aggiorna, i pezzi si scaricano, si aggiornano sempre la modifica. Andiamo a vedere un attimo. I componenti sono tutti plug and play, sono abbastanza semplici da sostituire. Hanno insistito molto nel spiegare il discorso del service, che è fondamentale per quanto riguarda i componenti strategici da avere in sede. E vediamo un pochettino tutti i pezzi fatti. Ecco, questo è un altro concetto del serbatoio. Il serbatoio non si riempie ma si cambia, il serbatoio è già pieno, quindi si risparmia anche tempo, soprattutto con prodotti fitofarmaci abbastanza complessi da manipolare, si riempiono già i serbatoi prima.
So from the left to the right, we have in-field monitoring systems that captures soil information, the pH level in the soils, your soil temperature and moisture, to look at water loss, to look at in-field detectors that can actually either be a hyperspectral, multispectral, or normal RGB to look at crop health, monitoring different pests and disease, the colouring differentials and the stress levels in the crops. These data are all transmitted up to a cloud system when the AI resides, and that can actually go in and compute those data sets to come up with a solution or shape file that you can actually send to the spray aircraft to go out and spray. And do targeted spraying, spot spraying, variable rate application. Any questions so far?
Okay.
Sorry, sometimes I slow down and I speed up again. Also providing the knowledge service there to also deliver to the farmer or the user of that system. Having geo services, now our RTK systems are very different to the DJI systems. We are actually an open source one, and so we can actually use Trimble's system. We can actually use John Deere tractor. So you bought our RTK system, for example, you can use it for your automatic drive system in your John Deere tractor. It is network RTK capable. Data center, of course, you do need to have a backup and data center in the background there, but we'll also look at able to link in to current sensors and farm management tools as well. So livestock monitoring, we are also building our own robots, so not just airborne vehicle, but also in-field robots. Can be a little harvester, a little picker, or even a ground spray rig as well that does selective spraying. And also will provide the auto drive information or the RTK information for tractors as well. So linking up all the existing farm equipment with our systems as well. So we deployed at nearly 100,000 fixed RTK stations. Each one of those stations have a network coverage up to 50 kilometers radius. So because unfortunately there is no RTK infrastructure in China, we then built the actual biggest RTK infrastructure in China. As you can see, we also did the same during that time in Japan, in Korea, and also Taiwan as well. Okay. Again, in the same time period, that's registered for our academy to do learning on our learning portal. At around 56,000 students that we have, and to date we have over 100,000 students. Now, they're not necessarily our operators. This could be farmers that just want to learn about ag knowledge, because Bayer, Farm and Agriculture, they all broadcast on our academy. They have a new product, new rules and regulations, new farming method, all get set on our academy. And the farmers are registered on there to learn about it as well. So that's a learning portal for all, not just the actual operator. The service coverage map. Each one of these green dots represents one field, one paddock. Okay, so we're covered on the 15th of December 2018. We have officially covered just under 3,500 hectares, not acres, hectares. So every hectare is equals to 2.5 acres of farmland, commercially sprayed. This is a funny one. By tracking all our machines in logistics, we're able to see what different seasons are like in China. What's growing where? When is it outbreak? What's happening? By just tracking the logistics of the machine. Now, this is not tracking it while the aircraft is flying. This is tracking it while it's actually on a truck or a plane, when it's actually getting to its destination for it to actually do its job. You can see the rice concentration. Now you can see rice insecticides again in central China, northwest and northeast of China. Cotton defoliation, all in Xinjiang. So the biggest cotton plantation is in Xinjiang. You can see the whole fleet get transported to Xinjiang for that season, September and October. And then when the season starts to finish, it slowly flows back to its home port or home base. Because it's seasonal, our aircraft do get transported, and because the logistics in China is so good, they do get logistics around to keep up with the demand. We also built infrastructures in major hubs. There's 4 pillars: services, rental, training, and retail. Can anyone think of any other I haven't think of? Anything, Don? Execution. What have we done so far? We have, this is in China, this is a little bit out of date. I will have more, that's 2017. There we have about 8,000 operators. This is only about a year into we start to sell our products. Now we have about 35,000 people in our operations. But there is people in servicing, in support and surveying, but there is about 25,000 drone pilots that actually goes out to fly our aircraft. We have about 25,000 aircraft instead of 7,500. Okay? We have completed nearly 4.5 million missions, operations. And a total distance we have completed nearly 8 million kilometers that we have traveled from all our machines. Total flight time in days, I think we're up to about 750,000 hours. Days. Some of the stuff that we did in Australia, how we promote the product, how we're going to work with farmers, perception, so we're actually capturing the data sets from different perspectives, from satellites, low altitude, all the way down to ground level sensors and beneath ground level soil sensors. Another use, and for those of you who come from the surveying background, we'll be able to do NDVI, we'll be able to look at biomass, nitrogen levels, elevations, your contour, we'll be able to capture tree canopy density, do a tree count, and so forth, from aerial imaging. So pest lead disease identification with AI, not necessarily with the C2000 now, we'll be able to do it in Ignition. That there is an Australian farmer that have incorporated smart water management, because water is always a big issue in Australia. So what we did, we digitised his farm using the digital service map and come up with an earth moving plan for the actual earth moving machines to move the soils around to retain water on his farm. And that image there was taken in the middle of a drought where his farmer's land's all, his neighbour's land's all dried up. Damp, no water. This is his farm. It's full of water, full of life. It's green. It's the only property that was sold in the full mountains taken in that time. It's green. Everyone else is all brown, all gone to dust, basically. Decision. This is showing you, how you'll be able to use different part of the systems in terms of the different data sets. Next slide is Bayer's, XAG's, Alibaba. So we signed in 2017. We signed an agreement, which is a global strategic agreement with Bayer to form the alliance between the two companies. Booking is our founder and CEO.
让这些高等科技变成温暖每个人衣食住行的一部分，这是我们的理想，也是我们未来农场大家庭共同的理想。It's not only a maximizing social responsibility. It's really many million of small rural farmers. The collaboration between XAG, Bayer, and Alibaba is a great example of combining the strengths of each company to create a program that impacts the future of farming.
See how the nozzles operate at the moment when it's on and off?
This data is the operator uploaded or?
No, it's automatically uploaded from the aircraft, yeah. By the aircraft itself, by the system.
Oh, so the aircraft also provide the
So it's like
data to its cloud.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the color, different color means...
Chances of our propeller, how it pushes down, does not break up the droplet any further. And that's been wind tunnel tested and proven. Okay.
Was that his actual, is this speeded up? That's
Yeah,
not
this
his
is
ac-
speeded up. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
that's not
20
his actual
times.
full
Yeah.
pilot is doing.
we have the 3 dimension, but so he start and we
So
see.
you can see it's traveling there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, you'll be able to see what the nozzle is doing, what the flight control is doing, the status of the RTK, everything, the pilot's detail right there. You'll be able to export the information. You'll be able to measure what he's doing as well in terms of the
But
rule.
which is the main reason you have to track? I mean, you have this data is very important.
What's the last setting? It's all
But what about this map? This map comes from where?
depending on the country that you're in. More than likely Google.
Conoscono
recognized by the machine.
By the machine, yeah. It measures the crown diameter, the density of the crown, to work out the level of penetration and the dosage that you need.
Batterie tolta, ecco, vediamo che è molto pratico. E cambio di serbatoio già fatto, quindi viene rimesso il serbatoio nuovo.
Go for a very different testing than your normal consumer grade drones. Every single part has been corrosion tested in salt water. Every single part has been temperature testing to minus and plus.
You destabilize.
Yeah, we destabilize. We send them through very rigorous testing. Every actual aircraft spends at least 4 days in the production line. That
So the pump moves, just the tube pushes.
Sì, è una peristatica, è una pompa che di solito si usa nella farmaceutica. E questa è la stessa pompa che è dentro nel drone, quindi la pompa non potrà mai intasarsi perché non c'è un contatto col liquido.
Wind, and also a wide-angle camera built into that.
Questo è il robot che usano. Di prototype.
No, this is actually a working prototype.
Okay. And what they do?
They have different payload. This one doesn't actually have a payload on it at the moment.
Abbiamo la zona ricreativa con il loro bar, un po' di storia, una vecchia turbina e la sala scaldare un po' le persone.
After our training, do you want to stay back and do the workout for free?
In questo stabilimento lavorano 600 persone. Allora vediamo qui una prova in campo. Dal serbatoio viene pompato nel serbatoio con questo prodotto che porta i serbatoi vuoti, li riempie tutti, e questo è il nuovo modello. Qui si vede anche il sistema per la distribuzione. Quindi viene venduto qui il servizio a $100 l'ettaro, con un profitto di 40 euro ogni ettaro, compreso il prodotto chimico. Per una questione aerodinamica le vengono fatti andare gli ugelli posteriori quando in fase di avanzamento, per evitare vortici che farebbero disperdere il liquido che viene erogato. E ci sono già gli uccelli che questo prodotto questo pesticida non è dannoso, almeno sentendo loro, per gli uccelli. Gli insetti che stanno indebolendosi vengono mangiati. Il radar controlla il livello del suolo, e l'altezza minima di volo è 1 metro, che il radar continua a tenere logicamente controllato. Adesso sta volando però a 2 metri. Precisione d'atterraggio 10 centimetri.